Too wide back here. They're going to give each other room. 43 into the wall. 14 into the 43. 42 is going to spin. So will the 9 car. Everybody's spinning. 43's into the grass. The 14 goes to the lead for now. 48 gets together. Oh, big crash. 3 cars, 4 cars wrecking into turn 1. What's up, guys? Formal Guy 01 here, and today we are bringing you full highlights of the Naughty Dog 200 at Miami Raceway, the second race of the Cup Series in this league. So a couple of things, we're getting ready to take the green rather quickly here, but a couple things to notice. Hendrick Motorsports, all 4 of their cars start in the top 4, so that's pretty cool, especially after having a pretty mid-par day at Blue Moon last week. Another big thing is the winner from Blue Moon, the 14 car, he starts all the way back in 6th place, so he's going to have to dig himself out of a hole starting early. 42 brings up the rear. We're coming down on the front straightaway. Very short track, which is going to make for a lot of good racing here. For the Naughty Dog 200, green flag is out. We are racing in the Cup Series. Very long, wide first turn. Is going to make a lot of runs to be enough. 24 car is going to keep the lead coming off of turn 1, while the 9 car follows not too far behind. Driver of the 9, the series champion from last season, he's going to try to get his first win of the season today. So he's going to go on the inside, very aggressive to try to pass the 24. 24 is going to get into the back boom. Looks like he's going to complete that pass. 9 car goes to the lead. 48 car's loose in the back. 14 car hard on the brakes. He avoids him. No caution from that as the 14 narrowly avoided him coming out of that turn going into the chicane. What a move by those drivers. Unbelievable that that wasn't a wreck. Too wide going into turn 1 between these cars. 24 is way up the racetrack. He's going to fall back to 3rd place. 2 of his Hendrick teammates just run away to take the top 2 spots. This 9 car, we know that he had a very down day at Blue Moon Bay. He just couldn't get his car going, got loose. No matter what he did in the pits, he couldn't fix the car. Right now, he is looking really strong here in these first couple of laps at Miami. 24 and the 88 are really racing hard back here for that 2nd place spot. These cars are trying to assume dominance very early in this race because it's going to be a long race at this short track. That 88 car last week too, he just had a down day as well. He was not willing to draft with anybody, not willing to push. And he is looking for some redemption after that very poor performance at Blue Moon. Little loose coming out of that turn, but he's going to stay with his teammate. That chicane is going to get so sketchy, especially if they're too wide coming through there, because anything could happen on that turn. The winner from last week is currently in 5th. He has not been able to get his car to do much of anything so far at this race. He practiced here a couple of times, tried a bunch of stuff with his setup, and he just could not get anything to stick, so luckily, he won last week. He's got that winner sticker above the driver's side window, and he is looking to just get a decent finish, maybe top 5. He's going to be battling the 43 here, see if he can maybe get a position up here. Looks like the 43 is going to stay inside. Goes to the outside, though. 14 is going to try to look inside for that position. Very close quarters here. Looks like nothing's going to happen. 14 is going to stay in 5th. That 24 car is looking to reclaim that lead because he had the fastest qualifying time here, but once the green flag waves, qualifying is basically not there because it does not matter what qualifying time you had. You got to race and you got to keep that spot. Nine car is running smooth. He is almost running flawless racing here. Oh, aggressive to the inside. He's going to try to protect that line. The 24 has a run. He's going to look to the outside. As we look to the back of the field, the 48 car started in the top 4 to start the race, but he is very wiggly coming out of that chicane. In the near back, the 42 car has not been able to run with anybody. He is just trying to keep that car out of the grass. Not quite sure what's wrong with that car, but they're going to have to go to work when we make our first pit stops of the race. A lot of green flag running. As you can see, the 14 has overtaken the 43 car to take over that 4th place spot. Oh, big contact. 9 and the 24 together in the front straightaway. 88 car is going to go to the lead after that big hit. Wow, that was really unexpected. 2 of the top cars leading the race get into each other on a straightaway. Okay, that's just going to shake up the entire field as we're going to go into our first caution here of the day. Coming off of the last turn going into the chicane, we are ready to go back to green flag racing. Front row is now a mid-pack car and the last place car. They now make up the front row. 14 cars, the control car on the inside. Green flag is back out. That inside line seems to be the preferred line right now. Let's see if that sticks going into this corner. 9 cars all over the bumper of the 14. The 14 knows he does not have the best car right now, but he's going to try to stay out and lead a lap. 14 gets a little bit of a gap right now. The 9 and the 24 really racing hard together. 48's in the grass. 48's going to hold his line coming out of the grass. He's not going to wreck. Unbelievable. 14 car coming through the chicane. Looks like the 14 car is going to lead his first lap of the day. And after where he started and how his practice sessions went, he is surprised as we are that he's leading this race right now. 24 and 9 are too wide going into the first turn. The 9 car gets a huge run on the inside. Looking back here, the 88, which was up near the front for the early parts of this race, now he's challenging the 43 back there in 5th place. That 14 is staying out front. Maybe he's starting to find something very early in this race. That 9 car started on the outside of the front row. He's looking to see if he can get back up there and pass that 14. So even though the 14 won the first race of the season, obviously he has to go into every weekend and just compete to win these races, because every race that he wins means a race that somebody else doesn't win. 14 is in the grass, 24 is in the grass. Oh my gosh, and they both hold their lines coming out of that turn. 9 car on the inside, he's going to pass the 14 and retake the lead. What a move. But they are holding their lines. 14 is going to go to the outside of the 9, and he's going to drive back to the inside. 9 cars in the rumble strips. Can the 14 make a move on the outside? Not this time. 9 car gets such a huge run coming off of turn 1. 24 car back there, he's looking to capitalize on that 14. He thinks he can get around him. Big spin from the 48. He's going to go around. Will that bring out a caution? Hard contact into the wall. I do believe that's going to bring out a caution flag. They are still full gunning. It doesn't look like a caution yet. Yes, caution flag is out. Caution flag is out. Big contact for the 48 cars. He got loose coming out of the S turn. A lot of damage you can see on the front bumper. He went straight into that wall after spinning completely around. Pit stops have cycled through. Even though the 14 led a huge chunk of that section right there, he had to pit. He's going to go back to 6th place. We have a Hendrick Motorsports front row. 9 cars the control car. Green flag is back out. We have a reverse front row at the start of this race. The 9 car has shown that he can race up there with the 24, and I do believe he might be better than the 24 right now. 24 car's chasing it up the hill. He's going to go to the outside, but the 9 car is going to get in front of him. 24, a little better of a preferred line going through the S turn, but the 9 car is still going to stay in front of him. 9 car heavy in the inside, but the 24 is going to go to the outside. 24, big wiggle, but he's going to hold it going through the chicane. Big wiggle from the 88. The Hendrick cars are really loose today, but they are still showing their dominance. 24 car is going to look to the inside of the 9. They are too wide coming off of turn 1. 88 is almost sideways coming through the S turns. He's going to hold it somehow as the 43 dives to the inside. 9 car dives to the inside of the 24, but nope, not going to get it done there. Big wiggle again from the 24 coming out of that turn. Too wide back here. They're going to give each other room. 43 into the wall, 14 into the 43. 43 is going to spin near the entrance to the pit road. That'll bring out a caution. Going into the last turn here before we go back green, Hendrick Motorsports continues to be on the front row. This time the 88 car is up on the front row. The 9 car had to go to the back due to pit road. 14 and the 42 are side by side once again back there in that second row. Let's see if the 14 can challenge on that inside line. Green flag is back out, coming to the end of stage 1. 14 is all over the bumper of the 24. 88 is really high. Oh, contact, 3 wide back in the pack. The 9 car is going to move up to 4th place. Oh, big spin by the 42 back there. He's going to hold his line. That 24 car could be the class of the field. The 88 is going to go into the grass. He's going to hold it. Yes. Going all the way to the outside of the last turn, but he's going to hold it. Not sure if the 14 can really challenge the 24 right now, but he can certainly try to run with him. He said it before the race. He said he was a top 5 car, and right now he's running 2nd, so he's already running above expectations. 9 car really high on that last turn. It looks like he's going to hold it. Oh, yes, he's going to hold it. 43 is giving the 88 a hard time. 14 goes way in the grass. Under brakes the last turn. Looks like it's still going to hold it. 24 now has a really sizable lead coming down. Laps are counting down for the end of stage 1. Side-by-side teammates yet again going into turn 1. 9 car has the advantage on the inside. The 88 is going to try to challenge. No chance. That 9 car is so dominant. He can just run anywhere on this racetrack and he doesn't lose speed. 43 is into the grass. Big time going into that last turn. See, the 88 checked up right there. He didn't want to get into the back of the 9 and cause any damage. Flag holder's got that checkered flag in his hand. He has to get ready to wave that for the end of stage 1, happening very shortly. 24 has now gapped himself pretty nicely to the rest of the pack, especially that 14 car. What's surprising right now is the 14 car has actually gapped the 9 car, and the 9 car has been probably the class of the field, and he can't seem to catch that 14. Big wiggle from the 9 cars. The 88's really challenging for that 3rd spot. Side by side going into turn 1 yet again. Nine car's going to hold dominance over the 88 for now, but I think that 88 might get up there and try to move him. Every position matters for points, especially at the end of these stages. Heavy braking going into that last turn for the 9. The 88's going to try to make a move. Here he comes on the outside! No, the 9's going to defend going into the chicane. Big wiggle from the 88. I don't know how he held that right there. He was almost sideways. Going into the last turn, the 24 is all by himself, coming into the chicane. Entering the front straightaway, white flag is out for stage 1. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Very dominating run for Hendrick Motorsports, but especially that 24 car. He took 2nd place last week at Blue Moon. He's looking to finally get a win here in this season. And the guy that beat him is in 2nd place, trying to chase him down for that stage win. Coming to the front straightaway, green checkered flag is out. Stage 1 winner goes to the 24 car. 14 car back there wiggling. Oh, side by side, no. 9 car is going to stay in front of the 88. 88 gets into the wall right there. Looks like they're going to have to cover that up in pit road. Alright, stage 1 is complete. We are going into the last turn, about to come to the chicane. A couple of takeaways from that race. The 24 has declared he is the best car right now in the field. Coming on the front straightaway, the green flag is out. We are beginning stage 2 here at Miami. Big move from the 88. He's going to try to dive under the 24 on the front straightaway, but he's not going to get there. 9 car tried to make it 3 wide between the 24 and the 14. He might still do it. Gets into the 14 ever so slightly. The 14 has to back off to not get wrecked. Close quarters racing back here for 2nd place. It is not over. 9 car is going to look to the inside, try to get a run on that 24. He's not going to do it that time. Although, yes, he does. He is side by side. No, that's going to clear up going through the chicane. 14, really aggressive move. He's going to go right by the 9 and up to the bumper of the 24. 88 cars into the grass there. Looks like he gets that all squared up. The 48 up to third place. Very aggressive move. 14 is to the lead. 24 is going to make an aggressive crossover move into turn 1 and retake the lead. That 14 car knows what he's driving now, and he is trying to get up to that first place spot. 48 cars in the grass. He's going to save it coming out of that corner. 14 goes back to the front of the race. 9 cars really loose coming out of that turn. Fourteen cars actually making a gap on that 24 car right now. After stage 1, this is incredible. Whatever they did during the pit stop after stage 1, it looks like they've really helped this driver of the 14. Gets in the grass a little bit there, but he's still going to hold his line. 9 car is going to try to chase down that 24 right now, but that 24 is not going to let that happen. Notice a lot of grass and dirt being thrown up going through that chicane, but NASCAR is really loose about cutting that corner slightly. We know that 24 car is good, especially when it gets going on a run. That 24 can just go. 14 car was way to the outside that time. The 24 is going to make up a little bit of that gap that time. 24 is just so flawless going through that S turn. I think that's the best section for the 24 car. .48 and the 43 are back here trying to battle for the 4th place spot. 24 car starting to close that gap on the 14 ever so slightly. This turn, the 24 had a little bit of a run there, but now he's going to lose it coming out of turn 1. Through the S's, the 24 is ever so slightly quicker. Going into the last turn, the 14 under brakes a lot. Here comes the 24 on the inside. Big mistake by the 14 as the 24 has now closed that gap all the way up to the bumper. Here he goes to the inside. He's going to run that 14 almost into the grass. 24 has the preferred line going into turn 1, but that 14 is going to try to fight back. 24 is hammered down, and the 24 is going to take over the lead. Hard racing up here for the lead of this race, and the 9 car is looking to get in on this action. 14 way high up on the racetrack, but that's going to give him a little bit of an inside look on the 24. Not this time. As we know, the 14 and the 24, they worked together for a lot of the race last week at Blue Moon Bay. And obviously getting a 1-2 finish, they are definitely okay with working with themselves, but this is different. 14 is now basically guaranteed into the playoffs, and now the 24 wants to try to get that for himself. As we see now, the 24 is going to pull away from the 14 a little bit as the 9 car tries to challenge that 14. 14 has better run off of the corners, but the 9 and 24 really have good entry into the corners. As we look back in the pack, the 48 is currently holding 5th position. He's trying to get something going with that car, but just he can't seem to get anything going right now. The teammate of the 14 cars entered this stage. He could not make the first stage, but his team was allowed to enter the second stage starting now. That car seems to be really slow, not even on point with the 14, even though they're teammates. The 9 and the 88 have crashed up front. I think that will bring out a caution. Have to see an instant replay of what was happening there as we were looking at the 41 and the 88. 9 car came out of turn 1. Looks like everything is fine. He's going to go into the S turns. Oh, he gets really loose, and then he's going to spin going into that first section of the S. Still hasn't saved it yet. Now he saves it right there. 88 comes around trying not to hit him. Gets into him again right there. Spins again going into the grass. Hard contact for these two Hendrick cars. Coming out of the last turn, about to go green, we have a Stewart-Haas. 1st and 3rd place starting grid up here. 2nd and 3rd, because the inside is the preferred line. 42 is the control car heading into the restart. Green flag is out. Let's see what happens going into turn 1. 3 wide back there in the pack. 43 makes a really aggressive move on the inside. 24 is way to the outside. Looks like he's going to lose a couple spots. No, he's going to stay with the 9. 42 cars out front with a very hungry 14 car on his bumper. 41 car goes way wide. 48's in the grass, into the wall. Looks like he's still going to save it. 14 is looking to get around that 42 by any means necessary. 24 is slow back there. What happened to him? Did he wreck? Will that bring out a caution? "24 cars come into the pits to fix some damage from that wall contact. We are staying green." All the 14 car sees right now is a last place car that got lucky on a pit strategy and went to the front. So he saw him as an easy passable car, and now he just went right by for the lead. 43 car back there, he's been running mid-pack all day. He's trying to get up there and pass the 42 as well. Almost 2 wide going into turn 1. That's going to resolve itself and go back to single file. 9 car really far to the inside up on the 43. Makes contact trying to get around him. 2 wide going into the S's. This is not okay. There we go. It works itself out there. When you are in the mid-pack of a race and you know you can run up front, all you want to do is get around these slower cars. And that 9 car is just trying to not cause anything, but he wants to go. There he goes, really aggressive, almost crossover going through the chicane. He's going to take over 3rd place from the 43. Meanwhile, the 14 car seemed to have just driven away from the 42. And all that's doing is giving that driver more experience at this track. He knew he had a bad car, he didn't know this track too well, but he's very adaptive. Once he adapts to a track, he can do almost anything. 42 really slow back there. The 9 car is going to look to pass him. No, the 42 is going to get the lead back over the 9. 48 is really loose back here coming through the turn, and he's going to spin, almost collects the 24. No, they save it. Will we have a caution, or will we have one of our first green flag pit stop cycles? 9 car off into the sand. Can he save it? Yes, he will. So many cars have hit the sand coming out of that S-turn. 43 inside. Big hit in the 9 car. 9 car's going to retaliate. Side by side, bumping and grinding, coming back onto the front straightaway. Here comes the 88 going around the 9. 88 car's looking to pass both of them. 43 sticks it in deep going into turn 1. 88 is still on the inside, gets into the 43. Oh, and they save it! What a move by all 3 of those cars. 43 was wicked loose, bumping on the 88, and the 88 still saves it. Caution flag has come out. It looks like that was just enough contact to trigger a caution. No, the 48 is spot on turn 1. Lots of trouble for that 48 car. He's going to have to come into the pits. Alright, coming down into the chicane. A lot of the front runners had to pit. The leader went back to 3rd place, but he has a teammate up in front of him as the control car. Stewart-Haas on the 2 front cars on the inside line. Let's see what happens. Green flag back out at Miami. 41, huge run as the 14 is going to follow in his tire tracks. 41 goes up to block the 24, and the 14 is going to go around on the inside. What a move by 2 teammates, but here comes the 24 charging back on the outside. Big move by the 24. 24 is going to get the lead with that move. What a crazy move. 41 cars into the sand back there. Can he hold it with all this traffic? Yes, he does. What an insane move by one of the fastest cars on the field. The 24 car drove up there and said, hey, I am still here. 14 car gets wicked loose out in the grass. 42 is going to go by on the outside. 14 could not charge back fast enough to hold that inside line. He's going to go back to 3rd. 2 wide again back here with the 43. The 43 does not want that happening again. Can the 42 get up there and challenge the 24 for that lead? Can anybody challenge that 24 for the lead? Big wiggle there from the 42. He's going to keep it straight going into the straightaway. 88 is looking to the inside of the 9. What a move. No, 9's going to overpower him. Getting a push from the 88. These two are not teammates right now by any stretch of the imagination. Here comes the 48 working his way through traffic. Highly contested. 42 and the 24 are going to touch. Both of the leaders touch up front. 14 slows down to avoid him. He's going to take the lead. Caution flag is out. What a wreck. Got to show you what happened here on this replay. We're going to start you from the start-finish line going down into turn 1. The 42 had a run here, and he's going to stay on the quarter panel of the 24. The 24 was slower. The 42 just outpowered him right there and took the lead. 24 is all over his bumper going through the S's, while the 14 is just back there hoping that something maybe happens, maybe doesn't involve him. 42 goes way outside. The 24 tries to go to the inside to get it. 42 gets loose, and they both collide. Somehow the 14 braked and didn't get into either of them. Maybe a little contact with the 24, but it was nowhere near what they did to each other. What a wreck. These leaders, they will not lift for anything, and that just showed right there. What is going to happen when we enter the final stage of this race? Coming through the chicane, the 9 and the 88 have taken over the front row, and the leader has gone back to last place due to pit stops. Coming to the start-finish line, green flag is back out. New leader is the 9 car. 14 and the 24 are now the back 2 cars in this race. Crazy what happens during pit stops. 9 car has a great run on the inside. They are almost 3 wide behind him. 48's way up in the grass. He's going to get into the wall. No caution yet. 43 is showing a lot of run here on through the S turns. 24's into the grass. 9 car brakes a little late. 42 brakes late. Everybody's braking late. Look at how many cars are up there. 88 is sideways. 42 gets into the 14 and everybody gets through there. 42 is going to spin. So will the 9 car. Everybody's spinning. 43's into the grass. The 14 goes to the lead for now. There is a pile up on the front straightaway at My Abbey. That right there is a race for points. Nobody wants to lift. Nobody wants to back down. They are all trying to get whatever they can out of this race. It's a shorter racetrack. Very easy to make moves. What a move that was. Easily 75% of the field just got wrecked right there. We were ready to go green. Only a couple of laps remain in stage 2. Hendrick Motorsports front row yet again. Green flag is back out. 9 in the 24 front row. 14 car had to go to the back again due to pit stops. That 43 is pushing that 9 hard, trying to see if he can get in front of the 24 car. Double wide, 2 or 3 rows deep back there in the field. 48 goes way outside going into the S turns. Big contact into the wall for the 42. Will that bring out a caution, or are they going to race this stage out? Full gas going into the chicane. No, caution is out. Caution flag is out. Official ruling from NASCAR. This will be the end of the stage. It will end under caution in this order. That 42 car just had a really bad hit going through the S turns. And that 9 car, which has showed a lot of dominance, will win stage 2. Coming down through the chicane, the caution and the green checkered flag will both wave at once. End of stage 2. 9 car gets the win, 24 in second place, and we have a race, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready for the start of the final stage here in the Cup Series, the Naughty Dog 200 at My Abbey. The 2 dominant cars once again are on the front row for the start of this final stage. 9 car is the control car with a very, very hungry 14 car behind him. Let's see what that 24 car can do on the outside. Coming to the start-finish line, green flag is back out for the final stage. 9 car, great restart as he's done all day when he's been the control car. 43 and the 14 were almost too wide back there going through this turn. Not a good time to be doing that. 43 car is going to look to the inside of the 14. Can he make a pass? No, he will not. 14 is going to overpower him going through the chicane there. Big run by the 14. Here he comes. He's going to go around the 24. There he goes, diving to the inside of turn 1. Can he keep that position over the 24 now? We know one thing. The 14 has had 2 stages to learn how to drive that car. And if it starts coming in now, we're going to have one heck of a finish at this racetrack. 24 is going to fight back on the inside while the 14 is going to try to defend it. He's going to defend it this time. Just ever so barely. I'm surprised they didn't clip each other right there. Big run by the 14. Here he comes trying to challenge that 9. 9 car was a little squiggly coming out of that chicane, and the 14 tried to capitalize on it. Trying the outside to the inside line. See if he can get some kind of preferred line going. Won't do it this time. Little dirt kicking up through that S-turn. 24 is a little wide coming through there. 14 really wiggly. He saves it. What a move. Under braking for that last turn though due to that save. And here they go through the last turn side by side. They're both going to let off. And the 14 is going to let the 24 go. Here comes the 43. That right there is the art of racing. Both of those drivers knew that they couldn't go through there too wide. And they both let off. And the 14 let off more and just said, hey, go ahead, take that position. Very competitive racing so far through this stage. 14 goes way outside into the grass once again coming off that stage. Into the back of the 24. Was full brake and could not get anything going. Big contact between the 14 and the 43. 14 hits the 88 trying to get to pit lane. He's going to miss it. 14 had to check up right there. Now he's going to fall back to almost last place. Still in 5th place though. The 14 car has damage and now he must come to the pits as the 24 and the 9 are once again the top 2 cars. Well, it might not be a green flag pit cycle, but the 14 will definitely have to make a green flag pit stop after that. Maybe even the 43. Once that 9 car gets going, he is able to just distance himself from the entire field, and it is just phenomenal to see. Especially after last week's race at Blue Moon. Here we see the 14 car coming into the pits. He's going to get a change of tires and fuel and try to fix some of that damage. A little bit of a longer stage this time, so anytime he comes to the pits, he's going to try to get as much fuel as he possibly can. Leader's going awfully slow coming down into the chicane. He's going to cut that corner really wide. Wow, is something wrong with the 9 car? Or is he just really cutting that? Wow. Comes the 48 car onto the front straightaway after getting really wiggly going through that chicane back there. 9 car is really slow. Looks like the caution is going to come out for problems with the 9 car. As we look back at this replay, the 9 car was really chunky coming through that chicane, and as he goes into turn 1, it looks like he's just going to overcook it. Doesn't break anywhere near enough, stomps on him right there, gets into that outside groove and just loses it right there. Full 360 spin and very hard head-on contact into the wall. Lot of damage to that 9 car. He's going to have to take care of that during this caution. Coming on to the front straightaway after that cycle of pit stops. The front row is now the 41 and the 43, and the 14 is back there trying to see if he can race with that 41 car now being up front. Green flag back out at My Abbey. 14 car's a little slow. They're going to go 3 wide. The 9 car's going to dive under the 88, and here comes the 14 behind his teammate. 14's going to go inside of his teammate. The 41's going to get into the 43. Into the wall he goes, and the 9 car. Big wreck in the back. Huge wreck between the 43 and the 9, most likely triggered by that contact from the 41. They went almost 4 wide coming out of turn 1. That will never work at this racetrack. And just like that, the 14 is going to retake the lead. Coming to the front straightaway, you can technically say that we have two underdog cars on the front row right now. The 42 has been at the back most of the day, and the 14 does not think he can compete for the lead. Green flag is back out at my Abbey. 24 car trying to make something work in the middle. Will he get there? Going to go to the inside and try to bump the 14 to the lead and see if he can get a run around the 42. That's exactly what he does, is he will get around the 42 for now. No, the 42 will stay on the inside. No, he does not want to go double wide through the S-turns. Oh, big contact back there with the 41 car. Single car wreck that might not bring out a caution. What a wreck. Double wide going through the chicane. Oh, big contact from the 88. 9 car goes around. He's going to spin coming out through the pit lane. That will bring out a caution. Caution is now out. First the 41 spins going through the S-turns, and then 3 of the Hendrick cars basically cluster together, and the 9 car gets the worst of it. Alright, new second place holder is the 43 car, getting ready to go through the chicane and come on the front straightaway. Big restart here as that 9 car is in last place, and he needs to make some ground up now or he might not have a chance to chase back down for that lead. Green flag is back out. 14 car is the control car. Big run by the 43s. He's going to get that run. 3 wide back in the pack. 48 gets together. Oh, big crash. 3 cars, 4 cars wrecking into turn 1. Oh, the 24 almost hits one of our cameras. What a wreck that was, as all the spectators over there get to see all of that right in front of them. 3 of the 4 Hendrick Brigade just got taken out on one restart. Pit stops have cycled through. New front row is the 14 and the 9. The 14 is still the control car. Let's try it again and see if we can get through turn 1 this time. Come to the start finish. Green flag is back out at my Abbey. 43, really aggressive move. He's going to try to get around the 41 car. 9 car with a big run on the outside. 14's going to try to keep that lead on the inside. Look at the run by the 9 car. He's going to go around the 14 on the outside of turn 1. What a move. 14 is fighting back right on his bumper. .14 now has a huge run coming out of that chicane, but what a move that 9 car just pulled off. On a restart, when you do not have the advantage, starting on the outside, he powered his way around that 14 car. Insane. .24 right here, he's trying to get around the 43 so he can try to help that 9 car get a little closer to the 14 if he can. Big push by the 24, 9 car goes into the wall. 24 almost had no brakes going into that corner. What a hit by the 9 car. Now the 42 spins in front of him. Caution flag is definitely out now. Alright, we are getting ready to go through the chicane. Coming back onto the front straightaway. There are 3 laps to go in this race. The Naughty Dog 250 at my Abbey. 14 is the control car with that dominant 9 car right behind him. Coming to the line. Green flag is back out. 3 laps to go. Nice restart by the 14, but the 42 is still going to try to challenge on that outside line. 9 car is going to settle in right behind the 14 for now, but he's got to get up there now and try to get that lead away from him. If that 9 car can get around that 14, I do believe he's going to run with this. Tight racing back there. 2 wide right there. 14 is very aggressive on that inside line. Definitely the preferred line in that last turn. He's going to spin on the front straightaway. Will that bring out a caution? No word yet from Nascar. They are still racing up here for the lead. Yes, caution flag is out. Caution is out. We are going to a green-white checkered here at my Abbey. That 14 was driving away and it looked like he had this race in the bag, but now this just changes everything. That 9 car just let out a huge sigh of relief because now he has another chance at a restart with this very dominant 14 car now. This 14 car was not the best car of this race. He came in thinking he was, quite frankly, one of the worst cars of the race. And we are set for probably one of the restarts of the season. And again, we are only 2 races into this season so far. The front row of this race, the underdog versus the dominator. We're going to see which one prevails here in this epic race. 14 car is the control car coming to the green flag. Our first attempt at the green-white checkered here at Miami. We are green. 9 car gets a huge push from his teammate in the 24. That 14 is charging back on the inside, almost down on the rumble strips. Gets into the 9 car, is going to shove him up a little bit. That's going to cause him to lift just ever so slightly. Still has a run, but that 14 is going to nose him out ever so slightly. Coming down to the second to last turn, the 9 car is going to go to the inside. Oh, they touch! The 9 car is going to move the 14 out of the way. What an aggressive move by the 9 car. He's going to go to the lead. Going through the chicane, coming to the start-finish line. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. The 14 is there. That bump and run might not have been good enough to get him that win, but that 9 is still fighting. Bumping that 14 all over the outside of the turn, not letting him get any kind of a run. 9 car now has about a 1 or 2 car gap between the 14. 14 is challenging back to the S's. He's there. He is on his bumper. What will the 14 do? Will it be a reverse bump and run? 14, big contact with the 9 car. They're both going to shoot to the outside. There goes the 24 car. The 24 car is going to go around both of them. They are crashing behind them. Checkered flag is out at Miami, and the 24 car is going to get the win. A double bump and run as they're still wrecking behind the leader. What a finish and what a win for the 24 car. The 9 car pulled a bump and run on the 14. That wasn't good enough. The 14 raced his way back up there and challenged, and he gave a bump to the 9 car. Let's see what happens here. 9 car is the control car. 24 and 9 on the front row once again. Green flag is out. The final stage is underway at Miami. Or I guess they're doing another pace lap and didn't tell the people up here in the booth. '48 car's really